There are so many songs about drinking. There are probably nearly as many about giving up. But there aren't all that many songs about one modern situation, your lover's newfound sobriety, and where that leaves you. A drinker supportive in denial, or, as Henry Jamison, an insightful Vermont singer-songwriter, puts it elliptically on a song called Dallas Love Field, black as the kettle's the hypocrite pot often than more often than not. Jamison is a prematurely bearded, bespectacled 20-something who is just one EP old. His debut album, The Wilds, is that rare thing, an unshowy, literate gem that sounds a little like a lot of people, Sufjan Stevens, Bon Iver, Leonard Cohen, but carves out a niche all its own. The jacket multiplies Cohen by Stevens, finding passion refracted in everyday things, the aircon of the grocery aisle, the light coming off flat-screen TVs. The Wilds are both the wilds of New England and the darkness inside. His songs take place in baseball fields and in the abstract expressionist rooms of museums. Jamison is also a very unlikely Spotify star. Real Peach, the catchy, intellectual centerpiece of this album, came out on the Rains EP 2016 and became something of a runaway success on the platform, 20 meters streams and counting. Normally you look to Spotify for the next RB siren, but it looks like it now breaks troubadours too, even writerly types who sprinkle words like elegiac and the fallacy of form into a song about how his baby is a real peach. Jamison, it turns out, is descended from the 14th century poet John Gower, a contemporary of Chaucer, and the U.S. Civil War-era songwriter George Frederick Root. But he is a resolutely modern operator. The song Sunlit Juice was directly inspired by Jamison's girlfriend's sobriety. He, meanwhile, is still sippin' on the sunlit juice. It's a tune that goes down easy, a few banjo notes hit, but the kind of rhythmic delivery there that hints that Jamison is working in the 21st century. There are subtle electronics at play throughout. Listen to Real Peach by Henry Jamison. Another song, Through a Glass, Jamison describes as an ode to delirium, a bitter one that bends a vision of a lover through the prism of a bottle. Even worse, HES losing her to a 6'5" ex-Marine. Dallas Love Field, meanwhile, introduces a pair of lovers, maybe the same ones, maybe not. When we met we were two bright-cheeked alcoholics, sings Jamison, in the springtime in the year of our Lord, as we glanced the gilded edges of our identities. They would ride their bikes to the dive bar at the edge of town, he reveals. But what will they do now if the Wilds doesn't quite answer that question? It is unflinching in examining, time and again, who we are to each other.